My name is Alden Abraham. I'm from PCG Hoshangabad. I want to play the Xian, the beatbox. Praise the Lord. I'm going to say the story of Moses from the beginning to the end. It all began in Israel. There lived a mother named Jochebed. And that day the Pharaoh ordered his soldiers to kill all the firstborn baby of the Israelites. So Jochebed knew that they will also kill her baby. So she made a small basket and kept the baby in it and told the baby's sister to go behind the basket and check what happens. And the mother of that baby let the basket go in the river Nile. So when the basket was flowing, that day the princess of Egypt was taking a bath right there. She saw the basket and told one of her servants to bring the basket back. And the baby's sister saw that and asked the princess that, do you want a nurse for the baby? The princess agreed to the baby's sister. She called upon her mother and told that go to take care of the baby. And the princess of Egypt named him Moses. So Moses grew up in Egypt, and when he grew up to be a strong young man, he came upon some Egyptian slave master beating a poor Israelite. Moses did not like it. One of the slave master fought with Moses, and Moses killed the slave master. So Moses knew that that Pharaoh would not like what he has done. So that day he left Egypt knowing that he was an Israelite. After 40 days of traveling, he came to a land called Midian. There he got married, and when in a mountain he was taking care of a flock of sheep, he came one of the sheep went up the hill, and Moses followed it, and there he saw a burning bush. The bush was not burning, but it was just covered in flame. So Moses thought, what is this happening? So a voice came out of that bush. It was the voice of God. God spoke with Moses and said that, go to Egypt and free my people. So God said that Moses said that I cannot talk. The Pharaoh would not agree to me. They will even not pay attention to me. So God said to Moses, take your brother Aaron with you. And still Moses was not sure that he will let the people of Israel go. So God said, take your staff and throw it on the ground. The staff became a furious snake, and God said to Moses to pick it up by its tail. And the snake got back to a staff. Then the first day they went, Pharaoh did not agree to them. He even did not pay attention. And like this, 5 to 6 days went like this. And then Moses did as God said to do. He took his staff and threw it on the ground, and it became a furious snake. Pharaoh said that nothing but foolish tricks, and magicians can also do the same thing. So Pharaoh called one of his magicians and did the same trick. Moses' snake swallowed the magician's snake. Then Pharaoh said, this proves nothing. Then the next day when Moses came, God said to Moses that warn Pharaoh about the 10 plagues. So still Pharaoh did not agree to Moses. So the first plague was water into blood. Then many frogs came in Egypt. Then third was many lice came in Egypt. The fourth, many flies. The fifth one was disease of livestock. The sixth one was boils. The seventh one was hail and fire. The eighth one was locusts. And the ninth one was darkness for 6 days. And the 10th one was the worst of all. All the firstborn children of the Egyptians will die. So that day, the Pharaoh's child also died. Then Pharaoh said to Moses, you go from here and take the Israelites with you. Your God has either taken my son away from me. So that day, as soon as possible, Moses left. Back at Egypt, the Pharaoh thought that, how did I let them go? Now who will make my statues and many other things? So when the Israelites reached the Dead Sea, many of the Israelites complained Moses about that. In front of us is the Dead Sea, left and right there are mountains, and behind us the Pharaoh's army. Better than dying in the desert, we were better as slaves in Egypt. So Pharaoh. And when it was morning, a pillar of dust guided their way, and when it was night, a pillar of fire guided their way. And the next morning, the Pharaoh's army reached there. Moses prayed to God, and God said that lift up your staff in front of the Dead Sea, and the Dead Sea divided into 2 halves. And when the Israelites crossed the Dead Sea, all the Pharaoh's army and Pharaoh went behind the Israelites. And when they were in the middle of the sea, the Dead Sea was back to normal. So Pharaoh and his army died there. And when they traveled, Moses came in a mountain. There he went up. Aaron was down. And Moses went up, and God spoke to Moses and gave him the 10 Commandments. And back there, Aaron told everyone to take out your earrings and everything which is made from gold. So after removing everyone's gold things and earrings and chains and whatever, he made a god of gold. And when Moses came down, Moses said to Aaron, "What have you done?" So they spoke a lot. And then Moses said to Aaron, "What have you done? What is this? Why did you make another god of gold?" Aaron did not say anything. And so Moses went at the top of the hill and told everyone with a very big voice that whoever wants to worship the real God, the real God, Jesus Christ, whoever wants to worship him can come with me. And who all want to worship the God from gold will stand there. And whoever wanted to worship the God of gold went into a fire. And all who wanted to praise the real God walked again to the land of Canaan. So half of the Israelites went in fire. Only half of them were left. And when the Israelites wanted food, God gave them food to eat. It was sweet bread. Because the Israelites did not know what to name it, they called it manna. And when they wanted water, God said to Moses that take your staff and hit it on a rock. And water was flowing out of the rock. So again, the Israelites wanted wood. So God said something else to Moses to do. But there he did a sin. He did the same thing. He took his staff and hit it on the ground. So he did the sin there. And after many days of traveling, Moses came upon another hill, another mountain. And there God spoke to him that because you have sinned, you can only see the land of Canaan, the promised land. So Moses went upon that hill, and there he died. And all the good Israelites who were there went in the land of Canaan. Thank you. So as we are children of God, we should be faithful to God, and we should have faith on God. So God will fulfill all our needs. Like Moses had faith on God, so he was able to divide the Red Sea into two halves. And Moses teaches us to have faith on God. Like taking the Israelites from the desert for 40 years. Everything is possible for him who believes. Mark 9:23. Faith means total dependence on God. Faith is obedient action in response to what God has said. True faith is expressed in obedience. Action is in response to hearing God's word. So what should be our commitment? We should decide to live by faith and trust God in all areas of our life. Also, we should teach others also to rely on God's faithfulness and walk with faith in God. Thank you. Praise Lord. I'm going to sing about love.